Admiral Zeftar's mandibles clicked nervously as he stared at the star charts displayed before the Hegemony Council. 8 red markers blinked ominously across the holographic representation of the Sol system, each one representing a failed hegemony fleet that had ventured into human space and never returned. "Counselors," Zeftar began, his voice carrying the weight of 8 military disasters, "the humans have ignored our final ultimatum. They refuse to surrender their mining rights to the asteroid belt, and they continue to expand their influence beyond their designated quarantine zone." Council Prime Xerion leaned forward on his ceremonial perch, his 3 eyes narrowing. "Admiral, explain to me how a species that barely achieved faster-than-light travel 50 cycles ago has managed to eliminate 8 of our fleets." The word eliminate hung in the air like a death sentence. In the 3,000-year history of the galactic hegemony, no species had ever successfully resisted their authority. The humans were an anomaly that threatened the very foundation of their empire. "We don't know what happened to them," Zeftar admitted, his pride stinging with each word. "The first 3 fleets simply vanished. No distress signals, no debris fields, nothing. The 4th fleet managed to send a partial transmission before going dark. Something about impossible maneuvers and weapons that shouldn't exist." Counselor Vexana, her scaled hide shimmering with agitation, interjected. "And the 5th through 8th fleets?" "The same pattern. Each fleet we sent was larger and more advanced than the last. The 8th fleet included our newest dreadnoughts and our most experienced commanders. They lasted exactly 47 minutes after entering the Sol system." The council chamber fell silent except for the soft humming of the environmental systems. The implications were staggering. If word spread throughout the galaxy that a single world had repelled the hegemony's forces, 8 times rebellion would spread like wildfire across their territories. "There must be an explanation," Council Prime Xerion declared. "Perhaps they formed an alliance with the Ethereal Collective or obtained precursor technology." Admiral Zeftar shook his head. "Our intelligence suggests otherwise. The humans appear to be acting alone. However, our xenobiologists have identified something unusual about their species." He activated another holographic display showing the evolutionary history of humanity. Most spacefaring species develop along predictable paths. They prioritize either technological advancement, psychic abilities, or biological adaptation. The humans have chosen a 4th path. "Which is," Vexana demanded, "adaptive warfare doctrine combined with what their military calls controlled chaos. Our analysts believe that while other species optimize for efficiency and predictability, humans have optimized for the exact opposite. They thrive in unpredictable situations and seem to treat warfare as a form of creative expression." The council members exchanged worried glances. In their millennia of conquest, they had encountered many strange species, but none that deliberately embraced chaos as a military strategy. Council Prime Xerion stood, his decision made. "Prepare the 9th Fleet. Include our most advanced vessels, our elite Void Guard, and authorize the use of planet-killer weapons if necessary. This human insolence ends now." "Sir," Zeftar hesitated, "the 9th Fleet would represent nearly a quarter of our total military strength." "If we lose it, we won't lose it," Xerion cut him off. "The humans may have gotten lucky 8 times, but luck has limits. Deploy the fleet immediately." 3 standard cycles later, the 9th Fleet assembled at the edge of the Sol system. Admiral Korthak, commanding from the bridge of the super dreadnought Inevitable Conquest, reviewed the tactical data from the previous engagements. His 4 arms worked efficiently across multiple control interfaces as he coordinated the movements of over 300 vessels. "Begin the advance," he ordered. "Maintain tight formation and prepare for—" The tactical display suddenly erupted with new contacts, thousands of them appearing from seemingly empty space as if materializing from another dimension. "Sir," his tactical officer called out, Multiple contacts incoming. They're everywhere. What followed defied every principle of space. Warfare that the hegemony had developed over 3 millennia. The human vessels moved with an almost organic fluidity, coordinating attacks that seemed random but proved devastatingly effective. They used the gravitational fields of planets as weapons, turned asteroids into kinetic missiles, and deployed tactics that violated basic military doctrine. Admiral Korthak watched in horror as human fighters performed maneuvers that should have turned their pilots into organic paste. Yet somehow they survived and continued fighting. Their larger vessels seemed to predict his fleet's movements, always appearing where they shouldn't be, striking where his defenses were weakest. "How are they doing this?" he screamed at his tactical officer, but the young lieutenant could only stare at the display in shock. The battle lasted 6 hours. When it was over, Admiral Korthak found himself alone on the bridge of a crippled ship, surrounded by the wreckage of the mightiest fleet the hegemony had ever assembled. His communication array flickered to life, and a human face appeared on his screen. "Admiral," the human said in perfect hegemony standard, "my name is Fleet Admiral Sarah Chen. I believe we need to talk." Korthak could only nod numbly as he stared at this representative of a species that had just accomplished the impossible for the 9th consecutive time. "Your people sent 8 fleets before this one," Admiral Chen continued, her voice calm but carrying an unmistakable steel. "Each time we tried to return survivors to show that we're not monsters. But each time you sent a larger fleet. So this time, we made sure you'd have someone left to carry a message back to your leaders." She leaned forward slightly, and Korthak felt the weight of humanity's gaze upon him. "Tell your council that Earth is no longer interested in ultimatums. The next fleet you send will be the last mistake your civilization ever makes." The transmission ended, leaving Admiral Korthak alone with the knowledge that the hegemony's 3,000-year reign might well be coming to an end.